and emotional needs of the residents through engagement. That's a lot of things to be trying to cover. But we have an awful lot of things we're doing here. And so we're always looking at it and trying to figure out if there's something else we should be doing, if we need to make a shift here and there. And if any of you have suggestions about that, get to one of us, get to a board member, and suggest the things that you think might increase your physical, mental, social, spiritual, or emotional well-being, okay? Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Okay, Brent. Objective number 5.
All right, good morning. I know where I am now. Welcome to Forum. I figured it out. So our objective number 5, here's our committee. It's Chris Swanson, myself, Chet James, Jesse from our environmental services, Judy Studebaker, and Ginger Horton. And our objective is to envision and engage in developing leading-edge technologies that will help the community gain operational efficiencies and market share. There's a lot of words in there. So this is the investment objective out of the group. This means there's actually capital dollars to do some of the things we want to do. We figured out a way to measure it. This is the bigger and better story. How will it benefit the community? What will it allow us to do? What benefits will it drive to our bottom line? What conveniences will it create for residents? So these results must yield one of 3 things: greater efficiencies, cost savings, or improved market share. Judy.
I'm Judy Studebaker, and I am the rose holder of this committee. And the sub-objectives are: what are the accomplishments to date? Finish exploring the ideas still on the table. Solicit resident input through a brainstorming session and identify new opportunities. I'll talk a little bit about more of that later. Prioritize the next steps, and from all this data, select the remaining projects for 2022.
All right, so here are some of the things that we have already started on. You may have heard of Whiz. Whiz is the robotic vacuums that we have purchased, and they will be available for cleaning of the common spaces. They're fully automated, and people are safe to walk around, not sure about pets. New technology, and it's just think about how much common space there is at Regency Oaks, and the efficiencies we'll be able to save with staffing with the addition of a robotic vacuum. Our solar energy project, if you haven't been back to see it, it's up. It's going to do 2 things. It will allow us to use solar power to charge the golf cart fleet, and it also will take the excess energy and feed it back into the power supply grid for credits. Daily pay is going to be a difference makers for our associates. No longer are you stuck to a pay cycle where every second Friday of the month you get your paycheck. You're given a card. It's like a debit card, and you can pay yourself how much and when you want to be paid. So if you worked a couple of days and the weekend's coming up and you're short on cash, you can pay yourself for the hours that you've already worked. Automated massage chairs. You've heard me talk about that multiple times, and someone told me, don't tell the story about the oranges again, so I will spare you. Appy Pie is something that the department heads have been beta testing during the month of February. We also have a couple of residents who are working on beta testing. Appy Pie is a mobile software tied to your phone. It will allow you to have direct communication with the department heads. Eventually, you'll be able to put a work order in, make a reservation in the dining room, book a ride with our transportation team. So that is a new technology that's really going to make it more convenient for us to communicate back and forth. Our key fobs, which were ordered quite a few months ago in maybe September, we have just heard that this project has had another delay. So you get a reprieve. The install date now is July of this year. And if anything that relies on a chip in order to work is delayed. And it doesn't matter if it's a car, a refrigerator, or key fobs. So that's been pushed back to July. We're replacing our phone system. It's 32 years old. It's really antiquated. It doesn't have any of the new features. One of the great new features that the phone system will have, particularly for our assisted living and skilled nursing, it will allow for direct line communication. You no longer will have to go through an operator to connect to a resident room. And then advanced communications, our investment in TELS, which is our electronic work order system, and then Relay Go, which is the new housekeeping communication system. So those are some of the projects that we've already been working on.
What else are we exploring? IT concierge. We thought about going to McCullen Booth Elementary to get a 10-year-old to help us with the computers. But we went with, maybe we'd have someone in computer science from one of the colleges or community colleges and have them show up 1-2 days a week in the afternoon after somebody sign up if they got a computer problem and help us solve that. We haven't looked into cost or timing or anything else like that. It's just an idea. Inventory control for better supply chain management. This is to help maintenance not have to make 2 trips. You know, they go to the department and say, oh, I need something, and then they got to make another trip. It ties into the enhancement for electronic work order system. When that AppyPie gets installed, our design is that, you know, the work order, instead of what they have now, just a small little piece of paper, it would be like, where's the problem, what's the problem, and be a little more detailed so they can get the supply chain they need and bring it to the department the first time. Right now, they get a work order, say, I need a light bulb changed. Where is it? You know, what's the wattage, what's the voltage? So hopefully that'll eliminate a lot of time wasted back and forth between departments. And background music in the lobbies or in the breezeway, that was being considered. An automated pool dispenser, the fob. We'd have in the pool outside the locker rooms, you could get a towel dispense with your fob. And that eliminates having to go into 2 different locker rooms and getting things from 2 different places. A little savings of time, plus the savings of money, because I guess some of the towels don't return to their home. Geothermal energy, another green energy thought that we might want to explore besides the solar. And of course the in-house CV station, that's been being worked on for quite some time. We want to continue with that. Brent. Oh, Judy, excuse me.
We want to have a brainstorming session to cover all of this. And on Friday, March 11th at 10:30 a.m. in the South Building, 4th floor, activity room. I promise you, we will not be talking at you. We will be talking to you, and we will be exploring and wanting as many ideas as you have. That's the only way we can do it and have it mean anything. So we want as many of you to come as you can and keep your thinking caps on between now and then about what you think we could explore with technology to improve our lives.
Okay, we're open for some questions. Objective questions.
Only.
There was a lot of terms I didn't understand, but they snuck in.
Come to the brainstorming session.
I'm curious, with all the phrases and comments that were flashed up there, is there any one of them or any several of them together that will entail bringing a thought or an idea by the management, both management internally and the so-called management externally, before it's put into effect? In other words, we don't want to be second to any ideas that come through, like the TFOBs. We'd like to have those kinds of subjects presented to us as an idea for maybe quote-unquote improved service. It's like decisions are made by management before we know about it.
So you raise this question almost every time we gather.
No, I don't.
But
Don't say that, dude.
So here's the answer to that. There are 9 standing committees at Regency Oaks. If you want to get involved in technology or food or finance or the building and grounds, you have an opportunity to participate. We value your input. We give you opportunities to participate. There are no decisions made in a vacuum here at Regency Oaks, but you have to participate. And so, Roger, let me invite you to attend any and all of those 9 committees. You're welcome. We'd love to have you.
Well, thank you, but that's really doesn't answer my question. It doesn't.
Understood. Thanks. Any other objective questions? All right, we'll go to the administrative
One more
reports.
here.
Oh, one more.
I was surprised to find that we do not have an in-house IT person, and we're talking about Appy Pie and phone system and bringing in students from schools. Is that something that could be considered or has been considered?
Well, you did see that it was one of our objectives, so it is absolutely something that is on the table and being discussed.
Discussed. Thank you.
One more? Right behind it.
But Brent, the IT concierge was to be a part-time, occasional problem solver for people to bring their computer issues to. I think what she was referring to is somebody on staff who keeps up with all these things, and you can do what needs to be done for everyone. And is going to be able to troubleshoot these new things that you want to get into. Somebody permanent part of staff, not just a student coming in a couple hours a week.
So I think when Chris threw that offhand remark off that we were looking at a 10-year-old to come in and assist us, that was an offhand remark. No one is actually considering that as a solution. And so you may or may not know that we have an IT concierge that is here every Monday. He's available on the other days of the week for support of the community computers. We have roughly about 58 computers that belong to Regency Oaks, and Jacob supports that IT effort. What we're looking at and exploring is the idea of adding an IT concierge service for residents. And so that's the issue that is on the table, and that's one of the issues that the committee is going to be looking at. Again, come and attend the brainstorming committee. If you have a great idea, come and share it. Don't keep it to yourself. And we encourage you to get involved and become engaged in this process.
Oh. You're so quiet, Joe, I didn't hear you.
No, I had to go.
Okay, what we're looking for is Angelo. Bring Angelo back. You know, somebody that's here all the time, helps out all the time, and he throws in, you know, starting your computer, you know, starting your TV. Okay, that's
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, now to the reports.
Now to the reports.
Good morning, I'm up next. I'm Sherry Schoitzler, Director of Financial Services. My report today is for January's financial statements. I am currently working on February. We had a budgeted net operating income of $284,000. Our actual net operating income was $737,000. Our revenue was ahead of budget by $366,000. This relates to a stimulus payment that we received from the government for $400,000. So we are able to recognize that in our revenue figures for January. This is what created the variance, the positive variance in our NOI. Our total salaries and wages were under budget by $73,000, but we are continuing to recruit and bring in employees daily. Our controllable expenses were over by $26,000. This was an accrual timing, which will reverse in February, so we were actually under budget in our January expenses. And our non-controllable expenses, which are our insurance and taxes, things that we're not able to control under our monthly, or our departments each month, those were actually under by $40,000. So all in all, it was a very good month, a great start to January, or the great start for 2022, and I look forward to reporting on February next month when we meet again. Thank you.
All right, good morning everyone. I'm Kyle Bolton. I'm the Associate Executive Director here on campus, giving you updates for the Healthcare Center. As we know, I've always started off with COVID at the Healthcare Center, as we're strictly regulated still by COVID. But the positivity rate, as we know, in Pinellas County is trending down. Over the past 2 weeks, it's been at 5%. But for the CMS and CDC guidelines, we're still at a high transmission rate in the county. So we're still testing all of our associates at the Healthcare Center on a weekly basis. And we still operate an observation unit, so anyone coming in, all new admissions, if they're vaccinated, go into quarantine for 5 days, and if they're unvaccinated, go into quarantine for 10 days, and then they get moved to general population without isolation. Visitation is still open in the Healthcare Center. We are no longer testing visitors prior to visitation, and we will continue to monitor this based on data from the Department of Health and the CDC. Recruitment is still a major focus for all departments. We are making big strides in our recruitment efforts with the assistance of HR and our new recruiter, D. Sargent. We're averaging between 6 and 8 new hires each week at the community, so we're making big strides in our recruitment and hiring efforts, so we're greatly appreciative of that. The assisted living ran at 26 on a budget of 25.5 for occupancy. Today's census is 26 on a budget of 25.5. The skilled nursing center ran at 39 on a budget of 46, and today's census is 41 on a budget of 53. As I mentioned, the kitchen at the Healthcare Center was renovated and it has been completed. We're waiting for the trailers to be removed, the portable kitchens. They should be removed in the next coming weeks. We're just waiting for those to be picked up. And we also have some exciting news to share, as Sonia Mendez, who is our activities coordinator. She was nominated last month for Employee of the Month, has been promoted to the Community Life Services Manager in partnership with Ginger, so we're excited to see her continue to grow at the community. So that's some exciting news for our activities department at the Healthcare Center.
Okay, good morning. I am Betsy Olson. I'm the Administrative Service Director. So this month I worked very hard at getting all the ad valorem forms submitted, so that has been sent into the tax appraisal's office. Everyone should see those discounts on their invoice in November. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. This month we worked on completing the assignment of refunds upon move out. I know it came up at our continuum of care where people had a lot of questions about where their money would get refunded if something happened to them. So what I could do is an assignment of funds So if you guys are still interested in doing that, let me know. I've helped HR with employee projects and for Kindness Week. I participated in the Committee for Safety, Culture, and Extraordinary Impressions. I've been working on completing the new employee orientation, discussing HR policies and extraordinary impressions with the new hires. I do the weekly Tuesday talk flyers, and we updated the meal change form in finance. I do also want to share that in human resources, we've continued to interview candidates for the HR director position, and Brent made an offer. D is continuing to review all resumes and moving forward with hiring goals. We've worked on getting the daily pay information out to all new hires, or all employees. Assisting employees with application for the scholarship fund, and they had a week of events for National Kindness Week.
Hello everyone, Jesse Rosalie, your EVS Director. Proud to start off with good news. We, as Brant mentioned before, we are almost there to be fully staffed. So we have only one vacancy opened. So by the end of this month, we're hoping to go back to full service. So that's some great news there. In the last 2 weeks, we actually hired over 50% of our staff. So HR did a great job. So thank you so much. Qualified staff, let's say that way. So thank you. In addition to that, last month we cleaned the first floor hallways. Clearwater Carpets did the first floor. The second floor was polished in the north building. I don't know if you had the chance to see it. It came out beautiful. So they did that as well. We detailed the hallways in the south building. The tile floors in the sales center, we detailed those as well. We cleaned all the north stairwells. I know there was a lot of issues with the stairwells. We're going to focus on the south now. We changed all the Keurig machines in all the suites, so they're brand new, and we conducted 2 employee raffles as well. In addition to that, we detailed the south dining room. We're going to focus on the north building this month. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Christine, Director of Innovative Home Services. So for the month of February, we completed 1 estate sale. We hired 1 new CNA and HHA, and we continue to hire as we go forward. We participated in Spin the Wheel with Grace Home Care, which was in the north and south buildings. And we currently are serving 64 residents here at Regency Oaks. We also this afternoon will be handing out for 1 hour of free service. It's a search word puzzle. We'll be putting them into your mailboxes, so please take it and fill it out and return it back to our office. Thank you and have a great weekend.
Good morning, Perry from Sales and Marketing. We had a very good February. We had 5 closes on our budget of 4, so that was really good. We have a couple of move-ins today. We have Ann Wells moving in the north building, and Mary Stacks moving in the north building, and then on Monday we have Lee and Jim Anders moving into the north as well. In the last few days, we've had a couple of new residents that we've welcomed, Tom Cohn in the south building and Julia Clausen in the south building. So they've been active. All the sales that we've made at the end of the year, those people are all now processing in and getting moved in and getting settled. So that is fantastic news. Talking about being busy, we placed over 800 phone calls, the sales and marketing team. In February, we had a little over 200 in-person visits. That could be residents, prospective residents coming in to see us, or us going to their home and visiting with them. We continued with the email blast, the postcards that go out, and all the marketing lunches and events that we do in open houses. It was mentioned earlier, but the new Hamilton concept model up at S507, that really turned out fantastically. It just changes the flow and the feel of that apartment, and that happens to be the one that we routinely have the most availability of. I think when this was built, when Regency Oaks was built, there were probably more of those apartments that were in the inventory than some of the others, so that's one of the reasons we continue to have more of them. But I think this new concept and the layout and the flow, it has an island kitchen, like what we did in the Franklin model, so I think that's, so far, everybody we showed it to has been very well pleased with it. Yesterday, we conducted a photo shoot, so soon we will have all new photographs on the website and out on social media. And we also photographed yesterday the guest suites that you and your family and visiting friends can occupy. So we'll have some nice photographs you can now show and say this is what it's going to look like. So been very busy in February, and we're off to a good start in March as well. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ginger from Programs. I just want to let you know a few of our accomplishments for last month. The RO Movie Night, Wednesday the 23rd, was a huge success. We had 72 people in that room. And we will host that movie night the fourth Wednesday of every month, except in April, it's going to be the second Wednesday. We brought back the monthly activity calendar. I put 75 copies in each mail room, and if we need more, I certainly will, copy them. Just let the front desk know, and I'll make more copies. We updated the Monday memo into Excel. It makes for easier editing, and I want to thank Mrs. Gardner for that. Let me also thank the Gardners for their continued support to me and the community. They've been a great, great help. We had our first vow renewal on campus with Father Bob Swick on Valentine's Day, and I hope that we can make this an annual event. And lastly, our RO Dance Night program, headed by Rita Singer. It's also been a huge success. This occurs the first Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. in Grand Lobby South. Thank you.
Is this on? Yeah. Yay. Okay, so again, my name is Phil. Thank you again for listening to me. Ricky wrote here, Phil is back, exclamation point, so we've already discussed that. But what we didn't discuss earlier is Dick is back as well, and I think that's a bigger deal considering he was here for 2 decades and I've only been here for 13 years. So, during the month of February, we hosted the monthly wine, beer, and bourbon clubs. We had evening pop-ups on the Breezeway, currently on pause, but they will return in the future shortly. North and South birthday parties are back up and running, soon to be in their former glory as well, when we return to full-service dining rooms. We had a military dinner. Brick and Vine dinners have definitely increased with Dick's return, so please feel free to reach out to him at 391. If you ever need anything at all, please, 391, not me. We had marketing guest meals all over the campus, which was very, very nice. We hired 14 servers year to date. I don't know if you know how many that is, but that is a huge number for us. It allows us to stay on track with all of our plans. As well, all those cooks that you see out in the dining rooms doing the buffet, we've retained almost all of them. We have not lost any of any significance. So at that point, we're really happy with just the retention program we have here. We had a special Valentine's Day menu and the Enchanted Evening Valentine's Day dinner, which I was happy to attend on my second day, and I gotta tell you again, it was absolutely great to be back and see everybody. We restarted the gourmet dinners, and we're currently just finished week 2 of our cycle, so that'll be here for more than a couple of weeks. And we are on the path to reopen full service in the dining rooms. We're Tuesday lunch. We will have full service in the north dining room for a few more weeks. We're going to let that get sorted out. Our servers are on spring break in a week, so at that point we're going to be able to bring some more in, and we'll be able to reopen within a few weeks full dining in the north and south dining rooms. As well, Sunday this week, a couple of days from now, we're going to be offering omelets and eggs on the menu. So the return of almost a full left side menu starting Sunday. As well, Sunday will be the first day that we return to giving everybody menus when they sit down. That way everybody is comfortable knowing what the left side means. Thank you.